And joining me now is Ahmad Shahidov. He's a political analyst who joins us live from Baku in Azerbaijan to talk to us further about the meeting between Aliyev and Pashinyan in mid-December in Brussels. Good afternoon, Ahmad. Thanks for joining the program.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me in your program.
Now, the urgency to achieve peace in the South Caucasus is a major regional talking point concerning many countries. Could the scheduled mid-December meeting between Azerbaijan's President Aliyev and Armenian leader Pashinyan help secure that?
Yes, thank you. The leaders of the two countries were expected to meet against the background of the recent clashes on the Armenian-Azerbaijani state border, because there are a number of issues to be discussed between the parties. However, the meeting was expected to be held in Moscow in Russia with the mediation of Vladimir Putin, and it seems that there is a concrete competition between Europe and Russia on this issue as well, and Russia and the West have been competing for peace in the South Caucasus and resolving the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict for years, and this race has intensified since last year's 44-day Karabakh war. And Moscow's more active role in resolving the conflict does not satisfy the other co-chairs of the OSCE Minsk Group, the United States and France, and in this regard, the main goal of the West is to organize a meeting of the leaders of Armenia and Azerbaijan and reach an agreement between these parties. In fact, there is a need for dialogue between Armenia and Azerbaijan today, and regardless of who the mediator is, because a number of unresolved issues remain between Armenia and Azerbaijan. First of all, the demarcation of the state borders between the two countries, the matter of dispute for now, and it is necessary to determine the state borders for the signing of a lasting peace agreement between Armenia and Azerbaijan. And I think this issue will be discussed at the meeting of leaders of two countries to be held in Brussels. In addition, Armenia doesn't want to agree on the implementation of the November 10 agreement, and from time to time Armenian officials give completely different statements of the terms of this agreement, and we are talking about the Zengezur corridor, which is one of the main conditions of the November 10 tripartite agreement, and I think this issue also will be discussed during the meetings of two leaders. Armenia sees the opening of the Zengezur corridor as a threat to its state independence and sovereignty. However, along with connecting Azerbaijan and Turkey, this corridor means the opening of land relations between Armenia and Russia and Iran, and this is of great importance for the welfare and prosperity of the Armenian people as well. In fact, it seems that the lasting peace in the South Caucasus is difficult to achieve yet, and there are some objective and subjective reasons for this. Certain forces, both in and out, are not interested in establishing long-term peace and cooperation in the South Caucasus. However, Azerbaijan suggests peace and cooperation to Armenia, but Armenian side time to time violate the ceasefire and attacks Azerbaijani military points, and last week the situation in the region has become tense again, and active military operations were conducted on Armenian-Azerbaijani state border again, and both sides, and Armenia and Azerbaijan, suffered losses. And the Armenian army, which first violated the ceasefire and attacked the Azerbaijani side, suffered more casualties and lost two military positions. And finally, with Russia's intervention, ceasefire was reached again. And the main question is that defeated Armenian army is able to start to launch a new war against Azerbaijan. It is noteworthy that the defeated Armenian army resorted to provocations again Azerbaijan and tried to restore the conflict in the region. And is the Armenian side defeated in the 44-day Second Karabakh War really able to fight against Azerbaijan, or are there any factors, external factors forcing Armenia to do so? I think that both internal and external factors need to be considered here, because if we look to Armenia today, the internal situation in Armenia is unstable, and the Armenian society, which has no...
Okay, we're unable to continue that discussion with Ahmad Shahidov as we have a problem with the connection there. Okay, now we'll continue talking to our guest that we just lost there due to a technical difficulty, but it's been restored now. We have Ahmad Shahidov joining us to talk to us further about the meeting and talks that will be held between the Armenian and Azerbaijani leaders in December. So welcome back to the program, Ahmad.
Yes, thank you for some technical difficulties. And I was talking about the internal and external factors to be considered here, because the internal situation in Armenia is unstable, and the Armenian society, which has not yet recovered from the Second Karabakh War, continues a wave of protests against the government of Nikol Pashinyan today. And in order to reduce internal tensions and divert attention from the political, social, economic cause, the Armenian military political elite is resorting to such provocations on the state border between the two countries. And but this method also has a boomerang effect, because in the clashes on the border, the Armenian army still suffers losses, and Armenian soldiers are taken prisoner, which deepens the internal crisis in Armenia. And after the recent clashes on state border, about 13 or 15 Armenian soldiers were taken prisoner. And I think this issue will be also discussed during the meeting of two leaders in Brussels. On the other hand, the next meeting of the leaders of three countries, I mean Russia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan, is expected in Moscow in the near future. And I think during the Moscow meeting, the lasting peace agreement is expected to be signed between Armenia. And actually, I estimate the meetings of two leaders in Moscow more important than the meeting in Brussels, because Moscow, I mean Russia, is key country in resolving this conflict and this conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan. And during the Moscow meeting, it is expected to be signed between lasting peace agreement between Armenia and Azerbaijan. And in order to sign a peace agreement, the state borders between the two countries must be fully defined and agreed with all parties. I mean Russia, Azerbaijan, and Armenia. And the Armenian government intends to win this peace agreement by gaining new territories and heights on the state border. But these are not only reasons. I think there are geopolitical reasons as well, and geopolitical processes are going on in the region, which also need to be considered. And the growing influence of Russia and Turkey, the cooperation of these two countries in the region, does not satisfy Western circles. And I think Brussels meetings to be organized in December, it is one of the reasons of this, and because especially United States and France, these two countries, co-chairs of the OSCE Minsk Group, do not want to reconcile with Russia's and Turkey's decisive position in resolving this conflict. And for this reason, in order to delay the implementation of tripartite agreement signed on November 10, and to overshadow Russia's and Turkey's mediation mission, and from time to time Western circles try to provoke the border and create the impression that the conflict is not resolved yet. And the statements from the United States and France after each clashes on the border calls for the resumption of the OSCE Minsk Group and pressure on official Baku. I think these are part of a premeditated plan, and the goal here is clear: to violate the ceasefire to prevent the signing of lasting peace agreement in Moscow by the mediation of Russian side, and by this way thwart Russia's mediation mission by resuming hostilities in the region. But I think, unfortunately, Nikol Pashinyan, who came to power in 2018 with the support of Western circles, especially the Soros Foundation, today does not take into account the interest of Armenian nation, his own nation, but the instructions of the masters in the West, I think. But the reality does not change, and the war in the region is over, and the Republic of Azerbaijan has restored its territorial integrity, and very rapid work is underway in the region to
all right, Ahmad,
restore infrastructure.
Okay,
yes.
thank you for all that information. But let's just go back to the meeting that's going to be held in December. Now, as you very well articulated, agreements haven't come to fruition in the past, and we have reason to believe that perhaps they won't yet again. Now, when it comes to mediation and negotiations, the past has shown us that the credibility on the part of Armenia can't be trusted, given the numerous violations that we've seen by the Pashinyan government. What sort of dialogue can we expect this time between the two leaders when they meet in the Belgian capital?
You know, the main topic during this meeting, the main dialogue will be about the demarcation of the state borders. I think the Armenian side will demand to release Armenian soldiers who were taken as prisoners, military prisoners during these clashes and after the 44-day Karabakh war. Also, Azerbaijan will demand from Armenian side to implement the November 10 agreement. But the main issue is to determine the state borders between the two countries, and both sides are insisting the different maps. You know, Azerbaijan, according to international law, demands to determine the state border between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and taking as a base of the last official map of Soviet Union. But Armenian side intends to use the more past maps during 60s, 70s years. And this is the different maps and different line of state borders between Armenia and Azerbaijan. And this is the main misunderstanding and the main problem between the two countries. I think that during the Brussels meeting, also this line of state borders between Armenia and Azerbaijan will be discussed mainly. Also, another issues like to release of Armenian soldiers and to open the infrastructure, and the mainly Zengezur corridor. It is also very important for Azerbaijan today, because Azerbaijan, after the 44-day Karabakh war, intends to open the infrastructure, make new constructions, road and airports in Karabakh, and the main goal is Armenia to achieve the opening of Zengezur corridor and to have the land connection with Turkey. And I think Zengezur corridor does not threat and it is not against Armenia's national interest. It is also in favor of Armenian people, because Armenian citizens will have land connections with Russia and Turkey through this Zengezur corridor. I think finally Armenia will be, will be forced to agree to implement this 10 November agreement, because there is the concrete agreement signed between Armenia, Azerbaijan and Russia is one of the guarantor country to implement this agreement. But I don't, I don't think that the Brussels meeting of two leaders will be have a huge results. It is just official and meetings, and this is the duty meetings. But we wait a lot from the Moscow meetings because of Russia's key role in this negotiation process.
Okay, all right. Ahmad, thank you so much for joining the program. We appreciate your analysis. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Poland is accused.